Now, I want to talk stadium gigs. You play a lot of festival gigs, stadium gigs, and even intimate small gigs. Do any of those? Which one do you like the best? I imagine they're all very different.
They are, yeah. Just this weekend past, I played two shows in one day. It was Saturday, and I played Joburg Day in the morning, which is like 35,000 people. Highveld Radio, a lot of radio listeners, families. It's a day event. It's like there's like 3 stacks of those delay speakers going into the crowd just to service sound to 35,000 people. And that's really big. It's a huge stage, massive production, very exciting. Your set is normally quite a lot shorter. It's like more compact. And but then I played that same evening in Pretoria at a club called Arcade Empire, and that's like 850 people, small, dingy, sweaty nightclub, madness. I can play for as long as I want. There's lots of like singing and interactive stuff with the crowd. So I think, like you're saying, they're totally different experiences. I really like intimate shows because of the nature of what I do, but I've definitely found ways of getting bigger crowds involved and interactive as well. And that's quite cool, like when you manage to pull off having a whole crowd chanting something back at you.
I imagine that's nerve-wracking. You don't know if they're going to actually chant back the first time you do that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, just getting on stage every time is nerve-wracking, I suppose.
Does it get easier?
I don't know. I hope so.
Okay, it hasn't yet.
No, not exactly. Like it's changed. I get less anxious about like certain things, which we've got better at doing. Like for instance, like sound checks were in the beginning were really difficult because I've got quite a complicated like gamut of pedals that I run all my different things through, and so sound checking for a show was always very complicated. But we're better at that now because we've been doing it for a while, and I've got like people that help and structures to like make sure sound checks go a bit quicker. But now the stakes are so much higher, and there's so many more people. Often like bigger festivals have much bigger gaps between you and the crowd, which means it's like more difficult to bridge that gap. So you have to be like more obvious in the way you approach crowd interaction. And I know there's a lot of, I think as the stakes get higher, which just keeps happening at the moment, the anxiety and stress levels keep growing like in proportion to the way that I can like come to terms with them. So it always still feels rather stressful. I suspect that must be the same for most artists that keep, that take what they do seriously. I don't think like even big Hollywood actors who are very experienced like take their jobs lightly when they've got a new big hectic role that they're supposed to learn. I think it's probably always stressful, and that's probably a good thing.
How do you deal with that stress?
Well, I don't look at my calendar. That helps. I don't know what I've got like next week. I just focus on what I've got this week.
Okay.
And I rely on like my team around me to help deal with everything that's coming in and help me make the right decisions about what we take on. And once I've kind of committed to taking a certain gig on and okayed everything, or whatever it might be, just commitment of any sort, I diarize it and forget about it. And then I just look at it in the week that it's happening. And so like 2 weeks ago, I was shooting a music video for my new song Sinner, which is the one that the States are launching and rolling with. And I was leaving that same day for a trip to Turkey and then Italy and then Switzerland. It was like a 2-week family holiday / work thing for me. But I was still shooting up the West Coast on the day we left. And so I hadn't even had time to pack a bag, and so like my family just packed me a bag, and I just went straight from the film shoot to the airport and just got on the plane, like totally unprepared in a sense, but also like prepared enough, like not having to worry about it in advance allowed me to focus on the music video. And my time is just a little bit, I don't have that much time. My time is valuable, so I just make sure not to worry too much about what's coming.
Take it one step at a time.
Just nail what I have to nail in the zone.